Hello everyone, in this video we will create simple CRUD app using Riverpod 2. We will use Dio to integrate APIs. Let's start. I have created app, created folder structure. In lib folder there is a core folder and features folder. In features there is a task folder. Okay, we have task page which is empty now, and in models provider repositories all are the empties now. Also I have added hooks Riverpod, flutter hooks and Dio. I have created simple uh, mock APIs. This is to get the list. This is to create task. I have created one. When I check here, I'll get one task. I need to edit here. Then I can edit. I will get edited task, and in list also data will reflect here. So in delete I can delete here. Yeah. When I get list, it will be empty here. APIs are working. We will start creating CRUD app. First we need to create a simple task model, class task, okay. Final string name, final string description, final string this is boolean, this is integer, but we are going to send as a millisecond value. So id is string. Done. Now I need to create constructor. I have installed Dart class generator extensions here. This is Dart data class generator. So I am using here generate constructor, then generate JSON serialization. Also we are going to use copy. We will create a Dio instance, Dio provider, singleton of Dio as a Dio provider. Okay, Dio provider will give a single instance, so we can use everywhere. Dio. Here in Dio we can add base options, base URL. This is the our base URL. Done. I will add this URL in description. Okay, you can guys use that. Next, repository. Here I am using normal Riverpod 1, not Riverpod 2. I am going to use Riverpod 2 for future providers and while creating or editing the task. Okay, I am going to use notifier provider. Okay, so now task repository provider. Here task repository. I need 4 APIs. Okay, list, create, edit, delete. So let's create all the APIs. Future, I need list here, list of task, list tasks, or we can only the name as a list only, because this is a task repository and list means it will give all the list of the task. Okay, try catch. we need a reference here, not like this, yeah, like this. Okay, we are going to create task repository provider. In provider, we can create like this. It will give a new instance. What will do, provider gives reference, and I'm passing it to task repository to create that instance directly. This is called referencing. This is response await. We need a dio here, so what I will do, dio get dio. I'm creating getter here, so I can easily use all over. This is shortcut, dio get. Okay, in path we need like tasks only, so in data rest dot data. Okay, this is the iterable data, so I will cast it as a iterate. Return data map task from map e to list. What is iterable? It is the parent of the list. Okay, so iterable will be there. This is a list of like map, string and dynamic. Okay, so we don't need to cast all the things here, so we can just go with dynamic, iterable, dynamic, and mapping here. So while mapping, I'm passing the each element in from map, so it will automatically cast as a map of string and dynamic. So it will create a task instances, it will convert to task objects. So then we are returning as a list here, on dio exception return future dot error catch. We can show as a message also here. Okay, or response dot data repeat null e dot error or message. It is sending error message directly as a body, as a string. Okay, then create future void, then create async. I'm going to pass the task here, try catch await dio post or create. This is a post. Okay, and I'm going to post to task endpoint. Tasks as a data, I'm sending task to map. Okay, we don't need a encoded here, we need a map, not JSON encoded string, or will not get the encoded data from response also, because dio makes easy all these things. So it will automatically encode or decode, so we don't need to worry about that. So also here also, if we get some error, we will handle like this. For create, then same for the update also, update, but here there is edit API here. So edit this is put and there is a difference in endpoint. At the end it's ID here. So there is ID task.id. Yeah, done. Normally we use put to update complete object. We need to send complete object. That's why there are two APIs to update data. One is put, another is a patch. Patch is used for when we update specific part of the data, and put is for to update complete data. So that's why we are sending complete task here. Next one is delete. Hide, delete. For delete we need ID only. So string ID async same, but this will be delete and data is not needed. ID done. API functions are ready. Now we are going to use in features task. I'll create one providers folder here, or my all task related providers. Okay, one is tasks provider. I forgot to add some additional packages. One is Riverpod generator. This should be div dependency. Riverpod generator. Another one is Riverpod annotation. The next one is build runner. We have a Riverpod extension here. This is flutter Riverpod snippets. Riverpod future. We are going to use Riverpod future, which will return list of tasks, task tab. Okay, then tasks, because I want name as a task provider, so that's why I'm entering task only. So here we need to capitalize this, okay, reference, and we can import task, import all the other annotation. Then we need to generate. How we can generate? It will generate a provider. Just copy the name of file, part, name of file, .g dot. Then I need to dart run build runner bit. It is generated tasks provider for me, so I am going to use this provider. Here task repository list. This is a future function which will return list of tasks. So this is also list of tasks. Okay, we list first here. Okay, this is app bar title tasks. In body, first we need to use consumer widget. In consumer widget reference ref. Okay, then reference dot watch task provider, then dot when we will get this is the async value. For async value, we will get some methods which help us to handle the UI data and all. Okay, when there is a loading, we can show loading at the center, and if there is anything error like dio error, anything whatever we return as a future dot error or throw will get here. So I will show error text at the center. So when I get the data, I will show list view. Data map. For now I'm going to use list style only. Title text e dot name, subtitle text e dot description. Okay, as a leading I'm going to give a checkbox e dot done or not. We can change this value. So whenever he update, we are going to refresh this. We are going to update the task. Also we are going to refresh this data. Wrap with one widget, refresh indicator. User can refresh data whenever he want. This rep.refresh will refresh that provider, means all the tasks are reloaded. It will not show loading. When it will get the new data, it will automatically replace it. Our read is done here. Now we'll create the write task page. We are going to use same page to add and edit the task. Okay, to create and edit task. Stateless widget, write task page. Write means create and edit both. Scaffold, app bar, title. For now, write task, we'll change it to edit or create task later. Body, single child scroll view, child column. Let's use some padding. Here name, we forgot to wrap with provider scope. To use Riverpod, we need to wrap with the provider scope in run app function. Yeah, now there are no tasks. We can show no task when there is task list is empty. Okay, for now I am ignoring it. For now I will do some normal navigations. We are not using routing here. Child icon, navigator, push, material page route, then write task page. Yeah, this is our task page. Text field. I will just fill here so you can see the UI. We will add checkbox also, done or not, because so we can see how uh, Riverpod works. Okay, there was no plan, but just to check some how it update states and all, to see all these things. So checkbox, and we need to wrap this in the row, and text done. Done. In bottom navigation bar button, we'll tap with shape area, then fill button, text, save. Again we will wrap this with some padding, 16, copy top 0. This works here. Or you can give a bottom padding as 8 also. That will also look async. Capitalization, text capitalization, sentences, and max lines 3, minimum lines 3, no, minimum lines 3, then capitalization, text capitalization, sentences, works. You can add more things here. Yeah, we'll create one write task notifier to create and edit task. Write task notifier, this is the Riverpod class, then write task notifier. You can also go with write task only. Okay, before that we need to create a state models, or we can also name as states. Okay, in here write task state, write task state final. The first one is task itself, because we are going to edit and create task. Second one is loading. If we need some additional file things, are there will be a lot of additional things required uh, for big app. If there is something big feature, okay, we need to add all the states here. Done. Then we need to generate copies also. We are going to use copy to update state in notifier. Here we are going to return the write task state. What we will do, write task notifier provider will be generated, but it hold write task state. Okay, it will have notifier also. we will use notifier to access other methods. Only notifier can update the state here. So initially it is task. Here what we'll do, we'll create the one task property here. Okay. Why? Because when we while editing, when we create this provider, we need to add initial task also. We need to initialize the initial task, because then user can edit their task and then send to the database. So for initialization we can do properties here. We have created task property in build, nullable task, because while creating it will be null. While editing we are going to pass that initial task to initialize that task. If this is empty or if this is null, then we are going to create new one. Initially id will be empty here, name will be also empty, description will be also empty, done will be false. Okay, and loading will be also false in initial state. Okay, we need to generate that write task notifier provider. We can name as a provider also, it depends. Normally I name as a provider. Now we need to create some methods to update the data. One is name change, string v, okay, state dot copy with task, state dot task copy with, then name equal to v. Then again second method, like description change, string v. The next one is done change. This is boolean. Done. Now we need to create the write function. Write we need a repository also. What I will do, I will create a task repository getter. This task notifier has a rep, so we can read task repository. This is just a shortcut. Okay, if there are any other methods, we can easily use directly a repository dot list or something. Okay. Now try catch, await repository dot create. Okay. First we need to check whether we are going to create or edit. Task dot id is empty, then we are going to create. We don't have task here. State dot task. The task one is this, the initial task there. State dot task dot id is empty, then task. no, state dot task. As we are going to edit, if there is id is not empty, then repository dot edit state task. Okay, before that we need to start the loading. State copy with loading true. Here we don't need to pause the loading after successful, because we go to back to the page, so it will automatically, we don't need to. When we got error, loading will be false and we need to return that error back. We are stopping loading whenever we get error. Okay, done. The write is done here. Also we need to refresh that task provider, and user go back to that task page, we'll see updated task. So we can wait until it refresh data using dot future. It's a future function, means we can wait until the refresh data. Our write task notifier is done. Now here on the write task page, we need to convert this to consumer widget reference ref. Now we need to get the state reference dot watch write task notifier provider. Consider I am going to edit the task. I will come with the task on this page. I am going to pass this to the, as name it as initial, because I should not be, okay, initial. Then I am going to pass this here. We created the property here, nullable task in build, that's why it is asking the task here. Okay, if I remove that, we don't need to pass any value here, we can directly use like this, but we are initializing the task while editing. So if it's a null, then it will get the empty task. So before that, what we'll do, we'll create the one variable called provider, so we can use that provider anywhere. Provider. Then we need a notifier. Notifier means we can get that notifier provider dot notifier. Okay, I'll create one loading layer, because this will be widget I'm going to use anywhere, each page whenever I do CRUD like things. Loading layer, it will get one boolean loading. Okay, then one is child. This dot child, done. Then I'm going to require both things, not required for both things. Okay, just I will loading default to false. Yeah, what I will do, I will use stack here, children, and just child. If there is a loading, I will show material layer, child, center, circle progress indicator. For color, I'm going to use theme dot of context color scheme primary with opacity 0.2, just a color layer, a little color layer. Okay, then our loading layer is done. What I will do, I will wrap that with loading layer, loading state dot loading. Here what I can do, a try catch, await. Before that, I need to also implement the form validation. Or now what we'll do, whenever user enter a name and description, then button will be enabled. Okay, we can do that too. Final form key use global form state. I need to remove this. To remove this from here also. Form key, form key. Done. We need to add some validations. If value is empty, value is null, or value is empty, return required. And here initially will be state dot task name. Here also initial state dot task description. Now state task done. Here I am not going to do done change and pass that value. If there is a null, it will not null, just for safety I am passing as a false. Here on chain notifier dot description change. I am passing the reference on change notifier name change. Await notifier write. Okay, we write, and when write is completed, we will back to pop context, back to the task page. If there is something error, scaffold messenger dot of context show snack bar context. Here we need to show error. We need to check form validation, form key dot value, current state, validate. Then if there is anything all okay, then we will back to this. Okay. We need to enter the task, flutter app create. This is my first task. Big task, whatever. Now this is checkbox also. Okay. How it works in here in write task notifier provider, we are updating the state, right? Whenever user change the name, description, or done everything, we are updating the state. And here we are watching the state, and we also notify which has some methods to update the state. So we are updating here. Yeah, we got task here. We need to fix some of the build issues, because state issues. You can check here. I'll add some print methods. Whenever I change something, it will building page again and again. So I don't need that. But with this architecture, it will we have immutability, right? Riverpod suggests to go with immutability because we don't face any other very other issues due to this. So that's why we are going with the immutability. So that's why you need to implement these all things, so we are updating state each time. But to control this, we can control here, so whether we are going to change when we want to watch, when we want to build the widget, we can control it. How? Like this. Reference.watch, what I will do, I will watch again, but here I select one is value dot loading, checking the loading only here, but I need to check the done also, task done, but we can implement with single line also. How? First check it will work or not. What we are doing, we only selecting specific variable to watch. Whenever loading changes, it will reveal the page. Whenever done changes, it will rebuild the page like this. Okay, but you can see here, when I print something, it will not print here whenever I change any other value. Okay, we are controlling that, but this is asking lot of we need to write these lot of lines when we want when we have a lot of state variables. Okay, so we need to do with single line. I am trying this first time, guys. Okay, I got the idea about this today. Provider, select, done, value, loading, hash code, right? We need a hash code here. Wait, but yeah, it has hash code, and this is also hash code. This works. Okay, and whenever I print anything, let me check. Yeah, it's working. What we are doing here is just watching the done and loading, task done and loading from the state. We are using state only, reading the state here and just watching the specific state variables. Now we'll create one more task and also edit the task. Second task, new something. Okay, then this is created, like done, then save, done, this is done. And here task page, we'll create one method, single method, to go to that right page, go to right. Okay, here we'll give creating the property task, nullable task. I'll pass this here. Okay, so here task initial, if there is an initial, then I will pass this task. Okay, here I'll go with to right only. There is, I don't need to pass anything here, and here on tab I need to pass that task. Check here, I'm going here and task updated, then save, come back to this page and it will be updated. Here this task is updated, right? Big task update. So update is also working. Now we'll also do this checkbox thing in try catch. What I will do, I'll just access the repository provided directly here. Task repository, update, edit. Okay, edit, then e dot copy with, and done will be value. Yeah, and directly I will replace that provider, task provider, and it will replace. If I get something error, I need to show here, but I will not show anything for now. I will just print the error. I will not get any error, but we need to implement a snack bar or something, so I am not implementing anything. It's working, but it takes some delay because it will replace the data, then it will update the data, then it refreshes, so it is little lag will be there, but we can do sync all the, we can do some other state methods to maintain the updated state from the start. Okay, we'll do that in future. For now it is good. Now there is a last one, which is delete, dismissible delete. We'll just use dismissible here. Background will be container, color will be context. Okay, wait, what I will do, I will get this some scheme properties here, final scheme theme dot of color scheme. Here color scheme error container on dismiss direction start to end. What is remain? Okay, key is remain, key value key e dot id, id will be unique, so I am using that. This, then child o, child aspect ratio 1, then child center, icon dot delete, rounded, scheme on error container. This will run on dismiss, task repository provider dot delete. Okay, just replace the providers, tasks providers. Okay, so it will replace the data. We can also give the confirm dismiss things like this, async, await, new to return, show dialog. Here show adaptive dialog. Okay, adaptive dialog will be better, and alert dialog dot adaptive, and in title we'll just ask delete task. We want to delete this task. Actions, text button, cancel, or you can go with yes or no, or delete, cancel. We can change the color also, but now style, text button, style from foreground color, contest dot scheme, no, our scheme error. Then here I need to go back with the true, so it will delete complete the task. Yeah, so I can refresh like this, or I can delete like this. Delete task, yes. We are getting some issues. We'll check that. Okay, dismiss widget is still part of the provider. I'm refreshing that. Why I'm getting that? I couldn't get it. Let me check whether I can do like this. Rep.read task provider dot value dot remove. Okay, now it's working smoothly because I didn't get this type of issues before. I'm facing this first time, but normal. We can do like this for now. Let's create one more task. Hello task. I don't have a creative ideas for content. Okay, creating this. Okay, so description is wrong here. I will just fix the description. Okay, we can do also like this. Okay, one is we can enable the and state dot task name is not empty, and state dot name we need to write these logics in the state also, but we are using it like here directly. You can create that getter in task class itself. Now task description is not empty, then it will show button enabled, else none. That's not okay. We need to go to create the new task. It will show disabled button, but it will not change directly because we are not watching to that state variable. So what I will do, I will create this getter here in task. That is good for logic things. All we are handling in the state enabled. Enable is not like we can do like ready or something, but task is ready, whatever. Here value dot task dot ready, then hash code. Here state dot is ready, task okay ready, you need to be ready. So now we can, it will work, right? It will work. Subscribe to my channel. I will come with more videos. Done. Thank you guys. We'll see you again.